Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Chad bringing y'all another video, man. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Charlamagne, the god. He's not a god in my eyes, but he called himself that. But Charlamagne basically tries to take the red pill, but you know, when you first take the red pill, you get that red pill rage because you don't understand why stuff is happening. But then you finally accept this is the red pill, this is what it has to be, and you move forward. So in this clip, we have Charlamagne talking about Biden, talking about Democrats, talking about where's Trump, all of that. I watched this video from BCP because I just thought this is great. Another Democrat finally seeing the white light instead of being in their own vomit. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and roll the clip, and then after the clip, we'll come back and talk about it.
Now, y'all notice that ISIS doesn't even exist no more?
I ain't heard
COVID
ISIS
came
in a
around,
minute.
killed ISIS.
I ain't heard ISIS in a minute.
ISIS, right?
I ain't heard ISIS in a minute.
COVID killed everything.
20 years we've been in the Middle East trying to get rid of terrorism. All we need is COVID.
That's why I'm so interested this year, because it's the midterm year.
So it's like, what they gonna
is the
scare us
boogeyman?
with?
What is going to be the boogeyman? Who is going to be the boogeyman?
We're not scared of COVID no more, right? So it's like, what is going to be the motherfucking thing that scares us?
We're not scared of dictatorship. We're not scared of authoritarian rule.
Bro,
We're not scared of minority rule. We're not.
We're not scared of nothing.
I'm hearing it. I'm listening to people be like, man, where's Trump?
Yeah.
Get this motherfucker out of here. Motherfuckers, they feel like they would rather get it raw.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? At least we know where that motherfucker stands. These motherfuckers is gassing us up, lying to us, promising us shit and didn't deliver.
Nah,
like, I cannot wait to see, and I'm already watching it. I'm watching Democrats start the campaign. They're already like,
Hillary,
you gotta go out there and vote. Like, democracy depends on it. I'm like, when y'all gonna start governing like democracy depends on it? No, for real. Like, stop telling me that the death of democracy is upon us, but you're not governing like it is.
Yeah.
If you're like Joe Biden gave that speech this week, he's calling out all the Republicans. Like, I'm tired of being quiet. You're tired of being quiet, but you're still being quiet about all the Democrats that are blocking your agenda. You're being quiet about the mansions and the cinemas, you know, and the Kellys who don't want to get rid of the filibuster so you can pass voting rights. Why you not calling them out?
Yeah.
All that shit is performative until everybody gets it across the board.
Why you not calling out AOC for going to Florida after shitting all over and catching COVID?
That don't really matter.
Oh, yeah, now it's okay.
I get it. I mean, it's hypocritical.
It's okay.
No, it's hypocritical.
Now she's talking all this shit about Florida and DeSantis, all this shit. Now she going down there, partying, catching COVID. Now she can't do her job. She's sick with COVID, can't do her fucking job.
I'm with you, but it's just like, I just don't like the president. And you know what else I don't like? I don't like people in power acting like they don't have power. That's the other reason people like the Trumps of the world. That's why people like the Putins.
Because those motherfuckers in power that are doing powerful shit.
That's right.
Yes, we like it. At the end of the day.
I don't know. Like, I don't know who the boss is.
Yeah.
And humans don't want to admit that shit, but we like a boss because it makes ourselves feel comfortable.
We don't like weakness.
We don't, especially in our leadership.
Democrats look weak.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats look weak, bro.
Soft.
It's like control your hoes.
But they
you know
are.
what I mean? If you the pimp,
control us.
Control your goddamn hoes.
The only thing they are is controlling their hoes.
I don't want to hear about what Joe Manchin is doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
Is he the boss?
Are you the president?
Yo, so you saw that, you heard that. So first off, we just got to give Charlamagne a little round of applause for, you know, being the one to step out of thinking with all the rest of the people. So we just got to go Charlamagne. All right. So Charlamagne is also the same person who interviewed Biden, and Biden said, if you have a problem thinking of who to vote for between me or Trump, then you ain't black. Now, first off, for me personally, I wasn't voting for Biden in the first place because I clearly knew he was tricking people. But when it came time for him to say that, that's when I was really like, nah, like, if I don't vote for you, I ain't black. Like, who gave this white man the black card and had the privileges to revoke it? That's a little weird, don't y'all think? All right, so that's another reason why I didn't vote for him. But besides that, this is the same Charlamagne that interviewed him. So, you know, in the clip, Charlamagne's like, you know, midterms are coming up, and what or who is going to be the boogeyman? Because for Democrats, the boogeyman is always a Republican. Always they're after your voting rights. They're always coming after the vote, and they're trying to suppress votes. But literally, to think about this, let's all think of this on a common sense playing field, right? If Republicans are out to suppress the vote for making people have voter ID to vote, first off, I've asked everyone around me that's black, do you guys have an ID? They've all said yes. I asked them all, did you all vote in the last election? They either said yes or they did not want to. Second point, isn't Joe Biden the first president in history to receive the most votes in presidential history? 80 million votes. So whose votes are suppressed if more people voted in this election than ever before, and he's the first president who got more votes than Trump did, than Obama did, and every president that ever came before him? Whose vote was suppressed? And what black person vote was suppressed? Isn't he the same one that say black people were out in the streets? You've been the yay, we got our man. Aren't they the ones who carried him to the win? Didn't people say that black people are the ones who put him in office? So what? Black people's votes are being suppressed. Who? I feel like an owl, because who? Next, Charlamagne then goes on to say, at least we know where Trump stood. The Democrats, they promise stuff and don't deliver. And that's what I told people about Trump. I said, y'all, we may not like Trump's character sometimes. We may not like how he tweets, but Trump keep it real. He'll say, even for foreign countries, he'll tell them like it is. You make any moves, we're going to come and destroy you with our military. Do they make any moves? I didn't see anybody act out of line. I didn't see Putin laughing or none of them. They may have laughed on camera, but Putin knew, like, this man Trump crazy. Just like Trump will be like, he literally said, like, about COVID. He's like, I tried this medicine and I tried that, like, what else can I do? It works. It seemed to do something for me. He even said, like, what the hell do we have to lose? And I used to say that all the time. What do we have to lose by trying what he said? Have you ever sat down for a group project? Everybody come through with their ideas, and there's this one person who always think their idea should be the one that goes, and then someone else comes with something else, and they're like, no, we shouldn't go with that. This doesn't make sense. Like, what do we have to lose? If things haven't been going right with what we're doing for this group project, shouldn't we just take into account another person's perspective and see, like, what it does? Trump always kept it real. He told you, yeah, we finna have some inflation. Yeah, they're trying to take over the border. We need to make sure we protect our borders. China's acting crazy. The virus came from China. He told us the truth, but I forgot that people don't like the truth. They want their truth, not the truth. Then, Charlamagne also said, Democrats, they're like, you have to vote. Democracy depends on it. And he's like, well, then why don't you govern like democracy depends on it? Why are we talking about Republicans doing this for about voting rights and all that, but there are Democrats who are stopping it from happening? For my thing about that, it doesn't even have to go that deep. Why are we talking about Republicans stopping this when it's Democrats that are really stopping it? It's, why are we only worried about voting rights in Georgia and other red states? Biden came down here to Georgia the other day and was like, voting rights, we need to pass the voting rights. They're suppressing the vote. It's like, why is he coming to Georgia saying this about Republican states, but places like New York and Delaware and New Jersey that are Democrat run have the exact same voting laws as Georgia, but he's not actively up there saying this same verbal garbage? You know why? It's because they're not Democrats. One thing about Democrats and liberals, you're not black, you're not this, you're not that, if you don't think and act the exact same way they do. And that's the God honest truth. If I'm a black man and I say I'm conservative, they'll be like, you're a white supremacist. You're doing this. You love the white man. But yet they do everything and rely so heavily on the white man. At least when you're conservative, our whole perspective, or Republicans' whole perspective, just in my personal point of view, it could be different, is everyone has to work hard to get what they want out of life. Nothing is handed to you. So simple. So when they do things like the Republicans are doing this and the conservatives are doing that, just like when that conservative governor won in Virginia, they said, oh, the white supremacist is taking over. He's doing this, he's doing that. But he literally got into office because he ran on, we need to get this critical race theory and stuff out of public schools. And you know what? I'm going to listen to the parents of the area that actually voted me into office and run on these principles. And then when he actually got in, he took all that garbage out the schools. He literally did what he said. That's one thing I have to give, you know, Trump, or have to give, you know, some Republicans, not the rhinos, but some Republicans, is when they got into office, they did what they said they would do. Trump, he made it happen. If he said, I'm doing this and someone's doing his way, you're fired. But it's like Democrats, they promise all these bells and whistles and don't deliver. Biden said he would give people $2,000 stimulus checks. We didn't get that. Biden promised that, what else did this man promise? He promised that inflation will be transitory. It's here to stay. Like, I don't see it transitioning anywhere. Only thing the inflation doing is transitioning to my pockets, because I'm feeling it. Biden also promised for student loan debt relief. He still has that going. Biden has promised so much stuff, bro. He is like Santa Claus, where everybody who's a Democrat puts on their wish list what they want from Santa, who's Biden, and they look up to Biden like, Santa, he's gonna come deliver. And all Santa does for them is come down, eat his cookies, and then leave. That's all they do. They make a big wish list. Oh, Biden, he's gonna do this. Santa's gonna come and give me that. Santa's gonna come and do this. And all Biden did was say, I got you guys, I got you, I'm coming Christmas. He came down the chimney, ate the cookies, went back up, and whew, I'm chilling. Next, we then have Andrew Schultz, who's like AOC, who's a Democrat and one of the most liberal. I don't want to call her an idiot, but some of the stuff she does is very idiotic. Like, for instance, she spent months saying, Florida and Ron DeSantis, he's a white supremacist, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's killing the folks there in Florida, he's blah, 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 blah. And there's no mask mandate, he wants people to die. And talked about Florida all this time. And then, just like Andrew Schultz said, she went down to Florida to see, 1, her boyfriend, 2, to party, didn't wear a mask the entire time she was there. People called her out on it. She said, you guys are just talking about I'm down in Florida with my boyfriend because y'all really want to date me. They want to what, bruh? We're talking about you down in Florida because you spent all your time criticizing Florida and how it's so dangerous. Ron DeSantis is killing people with his policies and stuff. Then you go down there and party and turn up at the drag queen parades and act like no one's going to call you out on your BS. Nobody want to date you. No one wants to date no woman who acts like AOC. I'm not going to lie. If you want to date AOC, go ahead. But any woman who does the stuff she does, literally just completely trashes one group or one person in their state and then turn around and go to their state and do the exact opposite of what she's been trashing and then say, well, it's me that's going down there, it should be okay. I don't want to date you, bro. I don't know where she came up with that idea. And then on top of going down to Florida and saying it's so dangerous and they don't want mask mandates and he wants everybody to think for themselves, he's killing people. She goes down there, hangs out with her boyfriend, goes to the little drag queen parade and plays around at the parade and then catches COVID. Just like Andrew Schultz said. You literally cannot make, like, I don't know, like, God's the story writer of everybody's story, whether they follow in his will or not, but you cannot make it up, bro. These people are crazy. Next, you didn't have Charlamagne saying, you know, people in power, he said he hates people in power who act like they don't have power. He's like, we need people in power who do powerful things. One thing about Trump, like I said, Trump did powerful things. He said he was building a wall, and that wall got built. And what did Democrats say? We don't need a wall. You don't need that wall. He's being racist. He's being this. He's being that. Then when the border got overrun, what did Biden do? Started building back the rest of Trump's wall. Common sense, bro. I know I'm like going on a tangent here, but like I legit just hate Democrats and liberals' way of thinking. I love the people, but their way of thinking is like, they've been in a cult for so long, they literally see no way out. They just have to double down and pretend and hope that their master in charge will finally change his rhetoric, or else they feel like they have to be as slaves to what's going on. It's like, bruh, just leave the plantation. You know, people think when you see black people as conservatives or Republican, they're like, oh, you're a coon and you're doing this and you're a white supremacist and you're that. And it's like, bro, like, we're just thinking for ourselves. We left the plantation and we're telling you how much more freedom is on the other side, but you'd rather stay. I would, like, when people, they try to say, oh, Chad, you try to go along with the white opinion and they've done, and it's like, no, like, I'm one of the, if I was a slave, I would be one of the slaves who runs away or stands up to massa while the rest of them say, what are you doing? Fall in line, he'll kill you. You don't run away, they'll catch you. Well, that's too bad. I don't care. I enjoy freedom way more than the status quo. That's just me personally. You know, not everybody enjoys freedom. A lot of people love giving their freedom to others. I personally won't be doing that. Then Charlamagne even says, you know, I don't know who the boss is. Like, none of us like weakness. And he's like, the Democrats look weak. I wouldn't even say that is true, bro, that the Democrats look weak, because he's mainly talking about in that clip, the Democrats look weak when it comes to passing this voting rights stuff. First off, Charlamagne doesn't even understand why they need to pass the voting rights stuff. In my opinion, they're trying to pass this voting rights stuff so no one needs an ID, so that way illegal immigrants can vote instead of, you know, relying on the people who have ID. Because I guarantee that with people being red-pilled over Biden in office right now, if black people who are the main majority leaders of Democrat Party were to wake up, switch parties, and start voting Republican, if they pass this voting rights where you don't need ID, guess who would then take over the Democrat Party? Illegal immigrants and people who don't have IDs. And that's the God honest truth. There's no other way around it, because too many people will be waking up to the fact of they promising us stuff but never delivering. You know what? We need to start voting a different way, voting on different policies, etc., etc. But they trying to pass this and make it seem like people are holding back democracy. They don't even know what democracy is. They really don't. They don't know anything about democracy. Democrats are anti-democracy. They're all do what we say or else there is no other way. And if you're against us, then you're a white supremacist and this and that, and you hate like, stop it. So yeah, man, you know, I just thought this video was good because I'm like, Charlamagne, you know, people may talk about Charlamagne, how, you know, he has the God in his name, etc., etc. But he has really been the one asking these tough questions when it comes to these types of things. He's the same one that asked Travis Scott, like, Travis, they said, you know, your, you know, concert with all those deaths, you know, they said it was like a sacrifice, a satanic ritual. And Travis Scott was like, no, I'm a man of God. Travis, come on, bro. You don't gotta lie to us. You don't gotta fake the funk. We saw it all. You don't gotta lie. Same one who interviewed Biden, the same one now who's speaking his mind. Pretty soon, Charlamagne is going to accept the fact that the red pill has now been dissolved in his system. And once he finally comes to the conclusion, I've been tricked, I've been swindled, I've really been blue pilled this whole time, he's going to finally be like, enough is enough. And he'll finally start using his brain like he is now and coming to the real side of this is reality. These folks are lying to you. They're manipulating you. They're playing off your emotions. They want to talk about race 24/7. And they don't really care about you. They just want to stay in power, get all your money. And if you don't listen to them, then you cannot be on their team. And that's truly what it is. But yeah, man, thank you guys for watching. You know, I hope I made some good points in this video. I try to only make good points. Leave your comments down below if you guys have any. And as always, man, it's been your boy, Chad. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.